Hello, I'm Kara Camper Girl, and today we are going to Dinosaur National Monument.
So I might stay here tonight.
I'm not actually sure if this is a national park or is not, but it is a national monument. It is located at the top east corner of Utah, top west corner of Colorado. So it spans between those two states. On the Utah side is where most of the fossils are. That's where the quarry exhibit is. That's where like most of the petroglyphs are, that kind of thing. On the Colorado side, that's where there's canyons, rivers for kayaking. I don't have a kayak or money to go kayaking, so I stayed on the cheap side and learned about fossils. Okay, so there's evidence that people have lived in this area for over 10,000 years, and all of the fossils that were found were from the Jurassic period. If I had an editor, just cue Jurassic Park. In 1909, a paleontologist named Earl Douglas found over 350 tons of fossils while he was excavating in this area. He found them all in a rock formation called the Morrison Rock Formation. I don't know how a rock gets a name, but whatever. Now, this was the most significant archaeological find in the 20th century. Mic drop. Full stop. This was so important that in 1915, Woodrow Wilson actually made this quarry and the 80 acres around it into a national monument in order to protect it. In 1938, the area was expanded again to include the Green River and the Yampa River. Got it right this time.
This wall holds all these dinosaur bones. They started excavating them, and there were so many, they decided to leave them. So they built a visitor center right around this wall. Pretty cool.
So how did this even happen, right? Well, years and years ago, this area was a sandbar. So it was like the edge of a river, where a river kind of curved. So what would happen is animals would die upriver, and their carcasses and their bones would float down the river and basically get stuck in this sandbar. And then after years and years and years of that happening, this sandbar eventually turned into a rock. And so that's how you get all of these like different kinds of animals and different bones from all sorts of areas all in one concentrated place. They left all of the bones, they call it in situ, in this area because there were so many of them that it was probably harder to get them all out than to just kind of uncover them and leave them in the rock. But Earl Douglas asked that this be the way that they were preserved. He actually has like a little plaque and like a request, like, please do this for me. So they did. But the area even around the rock was full of fossils. They keep finding things. I think the most recent one was like just a few years ago. They're finding tons of new dinosaurs. I will list or put in somehow all the cool dinosaurs that they're finding around here. But they had a couple of the skeletons around in the exhibit. They had ones that you could touch, but you know, it's a pandemic, so I didn't really touch anything. Outside the quarry, there's a bunch of little hiking trails, so I went on one of those. On these hiking trails, they point out different places where you can also see other fossils, like little sea creatures. Honestly, I don't know enough about them to know what was a fossil and what was a rock. But thankfully, they pointed it out to you. There would be like little signs or like a little arrow that was like, hey. So it was really pretty. It was the desert. It's very hot. It was like July.
So, right next to the visitor center, where you just saw that wall, is this little trail. It's about a mile and a half, and it's called the Fossil Discovery Trail. And it's out here in the desert, and you can see more fossils. So let's go. I mean, if I'm being completely honest here, if it wasn't pointed out, I probably wouldn't know if something was a fossil or just a rock. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm learning. So, where that white arrow is, you can see that. That's a dinosaur bone still in the rock.
But it was awesome. I went for a hike. I saw a bunch of different fossils and different, even just the different types of rocks are pretty astounding. Afterwards, I went back to the RV because there is a campground there. The campground is for dry camping, so no electric, no water. I don't think there was a dumping station. I don't remember if there was one. Also, no internet. Nothing. Zip. Zilch. No phone, no internet, no Wi-Fi. This is not what you're going there for. Your phone might work to take a photo. That's it. If you think you're just going to be like popping your satellite on top of your RV and like kicking back and watching some Netflix, no, you are not. This is a dark sky park. That means the sky in this particular area is like so far away from light pollution that it has some of the best stargazing in the country. So they ain't allowing a bunch of shit. That was what I went there for, because I wanted to stargaze. So I went back to the RV. I found a spot to park for the night. I think it was $15 to park overnight. I did a little workout. I made friends with a squirrel. I made dinner. I went on another walk and made a deer friend.
So I just hiked up this hill. And that's the hill behind me. Remember rule number 1. Don't fall off the mountain. As I was coming around this bend over here, I have my keys on my waistband, like making noise, so that animals know that I'm coming. And I looked up, and this like deer just like popped aside and was like, hey, like both ears up. It was so cute. I didn't get a video of it fast enough, but all right. Now we hike back, and then we shower, and then dinner. I got some sun today.
I bumped my head really bad. This cabinet, I often will leave it open with my ADD brain doing something else and then run into it. This is the first time it's caused blood. Looks kind of crazy with the pink hair, right? Whew. Alright, that was scary. Had a great night, but by the time I was back in the RV and the sun was going down and I had read and done all of the things that were possible without internet or power, I was exhausted. So I had this romantic idea of like, I'm gonna stay up and just like drink tea and look at the stars. Guys, I went to bed at 9 and I just out. I did wake up in the middle of the night around 12 or 1. I peeked my head out. I saw a beautiful moon, tons of stars. It was glorious. It was beautiful. I said a gratitude prayer and then I went back to sleep. And it was probably the best night's sleep I had all summer. It was awesome. I needed to get sleep because the next day I was gonna go see the Petroglyphs, and one of the coolest places that I've ever seen, ever. If you want to see that, you gotta go for part 2. That's coming out soon. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope it makes you want to go watch Jurassic Park or some dinosaurs or something. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Please hit like, comment, send this to your friends. Help me get the word out about what I'm doing. Help me travel more. If there's a place that you want me to go or think I should go, please drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. If you have any questions, drop those down there too. Okay, bye.